Ask Reddit by Royal Tumbleweed 910. Would you be opposed to removing one nation under God from the Pledge of Allegiance, and why or why not? One nation, under Canada, above Mexico. Robin Williams. Further proof that that man was too good for this world. It was inserted by Congress in the early 50s as a reaction to the Red Scare. And even though the original pledge has socialistic origins, I'm not a fan of pledging loyalty to government. Loyalty to governments can be earned and lost. Interestingly, plenty of countries had these pledges in WW2. Only the USA kept theirs after the end of the war. I'm okay with removing the Pledge of Allegiance altogether. It's creepy and cultish. Your Honor, I pledged allegiance to the flag. Everything else was fair game. I'm Christian, but it needs to be removed from all public buildings and our money. All are tantamount to government establishment of religion, and violate the First Amendment. The pledge, though, is an abomination and should be entirely removed. Our country fought for its independence to be able to be free of pledges of fealty, and forced recitation is something that gets doucher bags like Kim Jong-un hard. Seeing your comment got me thinking about the Christian perspective on this, and I have to think that money is one of the last things Jesus would want to be associated with. One nation under God wasn't added to the pledge until 1954. So yeah, it can be removed and should be. Yeah, it was put in as part of the peak of the anti-commie fad. Apparently, they thought communists would recoil in fear like vampires at mention of God. Opposed. I advocate for it. It blatantly violates the Establishment Clause. Just because people in favor of the addition say it doesn't specify the Christian God, even though everyone knows that's what it means, doesn't make it any more acceptable. But removing one part of the pledge is the wrong question. The entire pledge is weird and flirts with indoctrinating cult-like bullshit, and we should do away with it entirely. Get rid of the entire pledge. It's super creepy to have children literally pledge their allegiance to the US flag every single day. Yeah, very. Your neighbor to the north has always found this weird. The fact you have a pledge at all is weird. Sincerely, the rest of the world. In Texas, the kids have the American pledge and the pledge to Texas, which is wild to me. First of all, a pledge in school is just ridiculous. Then, you have a pledge to your country and the state you live in. So which is it? Your state or country? Which is more important? The whole thing is so dumb. And kids need to know that they cannot be compelled to say either pledge. I think the entire pledge should go. Forcing young children to pledge blind allegiance to their government is creepy and fucked up. It's the kind of thing you would expect from North Korea, not from a supposedly free country. All governments are corrupt and fallible, and none of them are deserving of your unconditional allegiance. Always found it really creepy as someone who's not American. Where I live, we were taught that Nazi Germany used to have pledges like that as a way to indoctrinate the populace from a young age. So, when I found out they do that in the US, I was quite shocked tbh. How are parents even okay with that? I think we should remove the pledge altogether. I agree. It's literally indoctrinating and it's creepy as hell. I'm not pledging any allegiance to any government. WTF. One nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. I would like for us to go back to that line and remove the intrusive "ad under God" that interrupts the entire flow of the pledge. Get rid of it and restore the national motto back to E pluribus unum. Edit. If it's still the motto, let's put it back on our money instead of "In God We Trust." Edit 2. The official motto of the United States actually is "In God We Trust." I prefer E pluribus anus, seems more fitting. We went 178 years without it, it's a needed and false. No, not everyone in America is religious. Scary how far down this is. Remove it. Stop forcing your religion onto the rest of us. And take it off our money too while you're at it. I am not American. My understanding is that the US is an officially secular nation according to the First Amendment. Therefore there should be no reference to God in the Pledge of Allegiance. Also, the very existence of that pledge has totalitarian overtones to most people living in liberal democracies, so the entire pledge must go. Speaking as a Christian, one can only become Christian by making a free choice to do so. This requires society to be secular. For this reason too, there should be no reference to God in any such pledge. As an American, I agree. It didn't even originally say under God. Neither did the money. It was from a period when they wanted to differentiate us from the atheist communists, or something. No. I'm Australian. I'll go further in that there shouldn't be a Pledge of Allegiance to begin with unless it's attached the oath of enlistment or oath of office. We should not be indoctrinating our kids with nationalism at all, especially Christian nationalism. Deleted. Keep it in. It's worked wonderfully to rid our government of corruption. Because lying, cheating, and stealing are immoral, and deeply religious societies would never do such things. Big, fat, honking S. You really had me for a second. Deleted. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's not something I really care about either. Not one bit. It wasn't there to begin with, and it has no business being there. Entire pledge. Let's just get rid of the whole thing altogether. Nope, it was shoved in by Christian nationalists in 1954 and we've spent the last 70 years pretending that it's normal. Loyalty pledges are creepy and dystopian. Should can the whole thing. I'd remove the entire pledge. We could just remove the Pledge of Allegiance from things. While I wouldn't oppose it being removed, this is Reddit. Responses here are going to have a definite bias, and if you're looking for anything beyond confirmation bias, you won't find it here. Yeah, like asking Reddit this question indicates a fundamental lack of understanding of the user base. Obviously they'll support it, but they are not representative of the country, in large part because nearly half aren't even American.